Hi, welcome. Simon here, and I hope you're doing well. In this video, I'll walk you through step by step on how to do a screen replacement on a MacBook Pro 13-inch. This is the A1708. If you flip it around at the back of your laptop here, you can take a look. The model, it says A1708. So if you have a 2016 or the 2017 model, you can follow along with this video and I'll walk you through step by step on how to do the screen replacement. First you need to have is the Pentalobe P5 screwdriver. We're going to remove the screws here at the bottom. If you're not sure where to buy the tools from, and the screen replacement, feel free to check out the link in the description below. I'll link them where you can go directly to Amazon or eBay. You can go ahead and find the tools, also the screen replacement itself. Once you have removed all the screws, the next step you like to do is to get yourself a metal prying tool. So I'll be using this prying tool here to pry open the back cover. What you want to do is try to sneak in between that back cover here, and you want to pop open that clipper. So there is a clipper here on the side, and there's one here. So you want to pop it open by simply lift the back cover up, and you can hear that pop noise. Once you have that back cover here lift up, slightly pull down that back cover. The reason why you want to do that, if you look at the back cover here, so this thing is to slide in, right? So you can't just lift it up after removing the screw. Once you pop open that side cover here, I was telling you that you need to pop open the clipper. Once you pop it open, then you can slide it down and lift it up. That's how you remove the back cover. Alright, so here you can actually see the entire MacBook Pro, and let's go ahead and continue by removing the screen. But before you can do that, we like to disconnect the battery. So this is the little plastic cover that covers them. Remove that. There is a little side clipper here. You need to pop it open. So open up that clipper. And once the clipper is open, you can slide that cable to your left to remove it. I'll show you what I mean by the clipper. So that clipper right there, you need to pop it open. And then slide that cable to your left to remove it. Now get yourself a T4 screwdriver and remove this screw here. So this screw, one of the screw here is to make the connection contact. So that means the battery and that little connector are held by the screw, so they're tight and secure. So once you remove the screw, and that thing should do a separation, and that's where you have no power going to the computer. Now let me zoom in a little bit more. We are going to work on just the top part right here for the screen. Alright, so the next step I'd like to talk about is to get yourself a Pentalobe P2 screwdriver, which is the 0.8, this little star-shaped looking thing. And you're going to remove all the screws here that is holding down to the Wi-Fi antenna. The screws are really small, and you want to get a good grip of that screw when you turn it, because I do not want you to strip the screw. If you strip the screws, then you have difficult time to drill that strip screw and remove that bits. Okay, so take your time, do not rush. Make sure that you have the right tools and a good grip before you turn that screw to unscrew it. At the same time, if you feel like your computer is dusty and dirty, just like mine here, you want to take this opportunity to clean it up. Since you're already about 15% into the work, right? About 20% now. You have done so far. You have removed the back cover and you have removed all that screw that is holding onto your Wi-Fi antenna. All right. What happened to the tiny screw? I don't know. Maybe I dropped it. Yeah. Okay, once you have done all that, the next step is to get yourself a T4 screwdriver. So this is the T4 torque 4. Go ahead and remove the 4 screws, 1, 2, 3, and 4. So we are removing the 4 screws, right? 1, 2, 3, and 4 screws. Okay, once you have done that part, we need to go ahead and remove 4 screws again. 1, 2, 3, and 4. These 2 screws is holding down this bracket, and this 2 screw is holding down this bracket. I'll be using the T4 screwdriver still. So 1, 2 screws and the bracket. Just remove it. Okay, once you have removed that, remove the bracket. Now you can go ahead and disconnect the LCD cable. So this cable here is running from the back of the motherboard onto this LCD controller cable. So you need to disconnect that. They're just like Lego. They snap onto each other and you just pry it up to separate them. Now once you have done that process, get yourself a T5 screwdriver. In this T5 screwdriver, we are going to remove the 4 screws. 1, 2, 3, and 4. These 4 screws are holding down the LCD board. So let's remove them. And now that the LCD board is free and loose, so this is part of the LCD screen, so you need to have them in the same intact. Okay, now again with the T5, we are going to remove the Wi-Fi connector. So here they are just like Lego again. It snap on top each other. So the little small hole is the base on the motherboard, and then the connector is a bigger hole and goes on top of it. Alright, so once you have removed that and separated, the goal is to continue removing the rest of other stuff. So get yourself a T4 screwdriver. We have to remove these 2 screws, 1 and 2, so that you can remove this plastic and the hinge screws are exposed. So remove these 2 screws, both sides, left and right. Remove the plastic. Okay. Get yourself a T8 screwdriver. We are going to remove all the screws. There's 6 screws in total, 3 on each side of it, and that is to hold down the LCD screen. right? So 3 here, another 3 on this side. Once you have done that process, what you want to do here now is to remove the Wi-Fi antenna. So this Wi-Fi antenna, you just simply lift it up, and what you want to pay attention to is to slide this cable away from your body, so just towards that direction, and then it's kind of go in between that little hole there, so you're going to slide it out. Okay, so this is the Wi-Fi antenna. Let's just put it on the side here. Now at this point, you are pretty much free to remove the screen. So lift it up, all right, as I'm opening it up at 90-degree angle. And now you can slide that hinge out, and then the LCD would just come right off entirely. Okay, so this is the broken LCD, and I do not need to use this anymore because I have a new screen here for the replacement. Alright, so with the new screen, you want to open that hinge at 90-degree angle, or slightly more than 90-degree. And what you want to do is to slide it in to install it. So the first thing you like to do is to make sure that the LCD board and all these wires, the flex cables, are above on top the laptop. Okay, so you want to slide that all the cables in first. Make sure they're not tangled or get clipped on. At this point here, what you want to do is you want to align, adjust that hinge to slide into the gap. Same for this one, slide it into that gap. Okay, double check, make sure that flex cable, the board, are all above on top the laptop. Alright, at this point you can leave the screen hanging while I have my hands holding down at the bottom. I'm looking for one of the T8 screw here, also my T8 screwdriver here, and I'm just screwing that thing down. I'll come back here and do it for another side and screw it back down. Okay, once I've done that process, I just put one screw here on one side, one screw here on the other side, and I'll be closing down my LCD screen. Once that is all done, double check that flex cable, which is good, and I'll come back and finish up the rest of the hinge screw. So 3 on each side. Okay, and then remember this plastic cover, we just have to insert, well, before we insert them back together, I totally forgot, we need to have the Wi-Fi antenna to be insert and install. So make sure that the LCD screen board is on top of the Wi-Fi antenna, so right, it goes on top of it. So make sure it's open. Now what you want to do is you want to slide that Wi-Fi cable going in between that little hole right there, slide it in and push it all the way in. Okay, once you have that in the right position, press it down, it would kind of clip back together. Now you're going to come here and work on your plastic here, the bracket, T4, If you still follow along the video so far, you are 50% done. You're almost done. You're 50% all the way to go because we have removed the old screen, Now we are installing the new screen. That means we are halfway through the repair. And if you feel like you still follow along the video, you might want to take a pause here, pause the video, and comment below. Let me know how did you do so far, or maybe at the end of video you want to comment and let me know were you able to follow along the video and get yourself a new screen replaced. Alright, so the next step here, do not forget your Wi-Fi antenna. That one tiny little cable should go back in here. Okay, now the next step, the important part here is to realign. Okay, we have to realign them all back together. See if I can I want to make sure I have them in the right position. We have 4 screws. Remember that 4 screws holding down the LCD board. Make sure we have them in the position. Going back in. They are not in, so let me readjust them a little bit here. What happened to that one screw? Where did it go? Did you guys see that one screw that went missing? Sorry, even I make mistake here, so I'm not sure where was that one tiny screw at. So let's go ahead and redo it again. Using my T4, align them in a position. The LCD board goes on top the Wi-Fi antenna. Again, realign them. Have to screw back in. I wonder what is happening here. I'm having a lot of difficulty times. Alright, sorry about that. There was a slight hiccup that I had. It looks like the thing wasn't aligned in the position, and so far it wasn't going in. Now I think I just jinxed myself because the last one doesn't want to go in. What is going on with this Wi-Fi antenna? It seems to be so hard to align them in a position. How hard is it to just go in? Wow, really? Wow, I'm gonna give up pretty soon. What is going on? I apologize for this video here. I really do. I have no idea why this thing does not want to go in. Okay, there you go. Okay guys, I apologize. There was a really noob mistake that I made. I just realized that the screws are not the same. So this 1, 2, 3, and 4, I always thought that they are the same size of the screw, the length of the screw. So I was blaming that the Wi-Fi antenna right here, it wasn't inserted all the way in, therefore the thing is just lifting it up, so there's a gap in between the screw, but I was mistakenly wrong in that. So I apologize. Feel free to just skip forward of that mistake right there. I really do apologize. I wasn't paying attention to it, and I just felt like all these 4 screws are the same. So pay attention to the screws right here in the middle section are shorter, and this screw right here on the other side are longer. Okay, slightly longer. So slight difference, but anyway, so let's continue. All right, so put the Wi-Fi back together. So make sure you have them in the right position, right in a circle. Do not press it hard. You just have to align them in the very right position. Again, they are very precise. If you have them in the right position, you can just simply press it in at no pressure. It would install correctly. Do not put force into the Wi-Fi connector, okay? Because you do not want to bend that circle on the motherboard. All right, once that is done, now the tedious part right here is to get this tiny screwdriver and this tiny little screw here, the 0.8 P2, all that screw to tighten up the Wi-Fi antenna. So since I have wasted my time here, my mistake that I had on that part, I'm not going to bored you with this screw here to put it back in. I'm going to skip that part. I just wanted to move forward with that, you can pause the video here and finish up all your screws here on your Wi-Fi antenna. But once you're done, you want to come back. Here is what we want to do, is to install the battery back together. Okay, so get yourself a T4 screwdriver, install that screw back in. Make sure the clipper here is open. Slide that cable to your right. Give it a little push and snug all the way in by pulling this little plastic to your right. Okay, while you're holding that, make sure you double check it's all the way in, and then close that clipper down. So once you have locked that clipper, put that tape over and cover that up. Remember the plastic here, just put it on top and cover that up. So do not forget to put these two little brackets here back on top, because we do need to secure the connector, right? So let's go ahead and finish that up here. So far what I have skipped is the Wi-Fi antenna, the tiny screw for all of them. Now if you are a seasonal repair guy and you want to miss few of that screw, I don't blame you. I don't see a point of why they need to have that many screws just by holding down the Wi-Fi antenna, right? It's not like the Wi-Fi antenna is going to come out by itself or get loose or anything. But why do they need to have that many screws on it? If you know the reason why, please comment below, let me know, because I do want to hear what is your opinion or why Apple put that many screws here on that Wi-Fi antenna. All right, let me know in the comment section below. Okay, once you have secured that, both of them, remember the back cover here. I just wanted to share with you. You want to align them in a position like this, and you want to slide it in first. Okay, slide it in, push it all the way in, align them, and then slide it in as well. Once you have slide both of them in, make sure they're in the center, okay, and no gap, and then you press the side here. You can hear that little clipper is clipping back on together. Now get yourself a charger, plug it in, slot it in, and turn it into a screen, and now you would have just replaced yourself a brand new screen. Okay, so I hope that this video is helpful to you, and please feel free to comment below if you have any question, and also comment below and let me know whether you were able to follow along the video and get yourself a screen repaired. Okay, yeah, if you haven't subscribed, feel free to subscribe, and do not forget to smash the like button for me, please. I really appreciate. I hope that I can exchange my skill, my repair knowledge with you in exchange of a like and subscribe. Thanks for watching, and I wish you success, and bye now.